What is the hardest thing that you've ever had to go through in your entire life? Was it losing someone close to you, or is it something less complex, such as learning how to ride a bike? The hardest thing that I've ever had to go through is leaving for college and leaving my parents behind. Although getting out of the house that you were sheltered in your entire life seems exciting and it's a new adventure, for me, and most people look forward to, for me, I didn't look forward to it so much. I dreaded the day for it to come because I didn't want to leave my parents behind. The reason I didn't want to leave my parents behind is because they're my best friends. They're my backbone, and they are the ones who taught me everything I know, especially responsibility. Finding people to be there for you is hard. Finding people that you can trust is even harder. No matter the time of day or any circumstance, who's there for you? My parents have always been there for me. So, since I was little, I would much rather spend the day with my parents than go and hang out with my friends. If it consisted of a sleepover, I would much rather have my friends come to my house and have a sleepover than having to leave my parents and go have a sleepover somewhere else. As I got older, it was still the same way. Weekends that should have been spent with my teenage friends, I often found myself spending my weekends with my parents. But looking back on it, I don't regret it a single bit. Leaving for college meant not just leaving my parents, but my best friends, and that's definitely still the hardest thing that I've gone through. Showing complete selflessness and supporting whatever decision that I've decided to make, providing love and support regardless of if I made a poor decision, or an understanding that people make mistakes, has always been my parents. Not leaving your side when things got rough, that's my parents. When seeing your parents every day, you begin to take for granted having someone ask you how your day went, if you had a bad day, why it was bad, and just having someone to wipe your tears away because of the mess your day was. No matter the decisions you make, someone having your back and supporting you regardless of the outcome, or what was really the right thing to do, because they put your happiness before theirs. That's my parents. Responsibility is installed in kids ever since they're in elementary school. Remembering to grab your backpack that your parents packed for you the night before, and the lunch money that they set on the table and reminded you to grab 50 million times. Going to college, you weren't going to have any of that. And people learning responsibility is always on their own time. There's no set time people learn responsibility. They might have to go through something tragic to understand the role responsibility has on everybody. Going off to college, I had to start picking up after myself, which unfortunately isn't something I was used to. Paying for my own things. Waking up to my own alarm and not my mom waking me up yelling my name 50 times. People can't prepare themselves to become an adult. It just happens through the changes you go through life. Regardless, I seen it coming. I was never really prepared, and I couldn't prepare. I had to leave my parents and become a responsible adult, and I wasn't ready. With all that being said, my parents have always been the ones that were there for me, which makes them my best friends, my backbone, and someone who has always taught me the role of responsibility. Although freedom from your parents seems like a good thing, in which many circumstances it is, it gets you out, it makes you explore the world a little bit without having someone next to you all the time. Missing them is the difficult part, which many don't think they'll ever experience. Leaving my parents was indeed the hardest thing that I have ever gone through. But when I left, I still had my best friends, I still had my backbones, and I still had my support system. At this time, I feel as though everyone should take a second just to really acknowledge everything their parents have done for them.